Hey, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to Coffee Shop Chatter. I'm Mr. Controversy. So before we get started, go and hit that like button, subscribe, and as always, comment at the end. So apparently, or if you haven't heard, they're not reporting this in the US. I don't know why, but the new president of Ghana wants to close the US bases in Ghana. So with everything comes with a cost. But we're gonna go ahead and watch this video and see what he got to say.
Will the new president of Ghana be able to remind the West that he is a strong leader and not a puppet? John Mahama's triumph isn't just about Ghana. It has to do with something far more important. Be skeptical if you believe that Africa will simply let the West make all the decisions. The change in Ghana under Mahama's leadership is akin to a huge earthquake that marks the end of a period in which Western interests take precedence over African concerns. Ghana's foreign policy is not the only issue at hand. It's about Africa taking a seat at the international table and rejecting decades of exploitation. However, what is Mahama doing that is different? Let's investigate. Mahama won a fight for Ghana's soul, not just a presidential election. This has to do with financial autonomy. For far too long, foreign interests have drained Ghana dry. Foreign control, foreign businesses, and foreign loans. However, Mahama, he's had enough. He has a plan, and it involves defying Western directives. Let's dissect it. One of Africa's most economically reliant countries, Ghana depends on the West for loans, development support, and foreign aid. However, that structure has only served to maintain Ghana's debt and dependency cycle. Mahama is changing the course of events. He is discussing true self-sufficiency. It's not only about supporting a malfunctioning system or keeping the lights on. The goal is to establish a sustainable economy that is run by and for Ghanaians. John Mahama, Ghana's new president, reportedly said, and I quote, "In order to reset our country and put it back on track as the Black Star of Africa, we will be implementing significant governance reforms and occasionally taking drastic steps over the course of the next 4 years. My dear brothers and sisters, the trip will not be easy because our beloved country has fallen into an abyss due to the outgoing regime. But we're committed to collaborating with you to create the Ghana we desire, and I have no doubt that we will prevail in the conflict. We plan to collaborate in order to rebuild the damaged trust in our political and governmental structures. The goal is to create a nation that can support itself without assistance from outside sources. Ghana cannot prosper if it keeps turning to the West for answers. Mahama is aware of this. He has a vision for indigenous solutions that promote local industry, eliminate middlemen, and give Ghanaian companies the upper hand. His goals are to increase agricultural production, upgrade infrastructure, and make investments in technology and education. He isn't only doing it for Ghana. Other African countries can learn from Mahama's leadership style. It's time to start taking action at home and to cease pleading with the West for assistance. However, what steps does Mahama plan to take to avoid making the same mistake of depending too much on Western investment? How does Ghana progress in the absence of outside influence? The solution is straightforward: unity. Building an empire is more important than focusing on a single nation. Ghana is at the forefront of this movement. Ghana is not fighting this battle by itself. The country has been fighting alongside other African nations that have similar goals for decades. Africa as a whole, freed from foreign domination. Mahama has a clear vision. Africa must no longer rely entirely on the West. Countries from Burkina Faso to Mali are uniting in their opposition to neo-imperialism. And you know who's at the forefront? Ghana, you guessed it. It is impossible to overestimate the impact of this partnership. In order to preserve regional harmony and foster economic collaboration, the African Union, AU, and ECOWAS have always been essential. However, Ghana is ready to play a bigger part in determining the future of the continent under Mahama's leadership. Western power appeasement is no longer the main goal.
So they didn't, really say anything about it. But his goal is he wants U.S. bases in Ghana to close. Pretty much, he don't want them there. I agree. I don't have no problem with it. I was in the military. I personally think the majority of these countries we need to close. We need to shut our military bases down, bring them back here to the U.S. Close down the embassies there because I'm pretty sure they're gonna want some money. If they want us there. I think the $1 billion that we gave to the continent of Africa needs to be withdrawn. Don't give them the money. Force them to work together within that continent with all those countries so they become self sustaining. They have all the minerals and resources. I'm not understanding why they're not building with their own infrastructure to, as far as like cocoa, that is the main place where it comes from, out of Ghana. Why they aren't processing it there? Or in reality, you can't force someone to buy processed cocoa from you. But the actual cocoa being itself, yes, you can sell. You should be selling it. The gold, you should be doing it. Isn't China over there digging for gold? Last time I checked, they were. So if you want to become not be, or you want to be self-sustaining, be fucking self-sustaining 100% across the board. Don't pick and choose. Do it across the board. I'm a big advocate for the US to stop helping everybody without a price. You want us to come over there and help you fight whatever? Guess what? Contract for hire. You're going to hire us. You're going to pay us. We're going to tell you what it's going to cost for us to send so many soldiers. No more aid. Aid will be in the form of a loan, or you're going to have to give us something. We have way more problems, or basically enough of our own problems within the US. So even when we give in Ukraine, we need to stop giving them money. Taiwan, we need to start giving them money. Israel, stop giving them money. Every country and continents that we've given money to, we need to cut them off. Stop giving them any. Don't give them nothing. You want something, you take out a loan. Your people starving, oh well, you figure it out. Become self-sustaining. We have people starving. I mean, you look at the US, we have a lot of homeless people within our own country. One thing y'all can do is kill this whole thing off of where you going from Kenya to somewhere else that you need a visa within your own continent. That's like us being in the United States. I'm in Texas. If I want to go to Florida, I have to get a damn visa so I can enter Florida. That makes no sense. You're on the same doggone continent. Why do people need a visa to go from one country to another country when you're all located in the same spot? If you want to close down U.S. bases, close down all these other, but y'all ain't gonna kick them a lot of them out. Some countries over there, I get you. You have to go honest to do it. A lot of them you don't. Chinese coming over there doing what they want to do. I've seen plenty of videos where you have Chinese people beating on Africans. I've seen Africans come to the defense of Chinese and white people. Why? If you want to be independent and not depend on Western countries, you're going to have to do that shit across the board. You cannot pick and choose what you do or what you don't want to do. Because what if everyone says, okay, yeah, we don't mind paying you for this or that, but we're no longer going to do this for you? When you have these little military stand up, terrorizing your country, these little guerrilla warlords, whatever y'all have over there, and you need some type of people, countries feeling sorry for you and feel like they need to help you. I think no one should intervene until a country acts. That's just the way I look at it. Taiwan, the same way. Their biggest threat is China. Hence is why they want the United States to have military bases over there, because they have a threat right there at their door. And in order to prevent certain people from do certain things, you have to have certain people within your country. Doesn't matter if you're NATO. NATO is peacekeeping. I've deployed under NATO. It is a straight peacekeeping. They do not deal with wars. So I like to know what y'all know, people who are in the U.S. or if you're from Africa watching. Let me know where you're from over there, um, and what you think. Do you? I just like to know their feedback. Do you think your countries within your continent need to start booting out all these outsiders from the West? And if you're a country, pretty much if you're in the U.S. or someone else, some other country that have military folks or any type of government ties there, do you think they need to also pull them out as well? I also like to know what people think about cutting off aid for countries. So hey, that's all I got, YouTube family. Like I say, I just like to hear people's input on things. I like to see how other people think about things that's going on in the world outside of your own country or state, whatever. So hey, this is Controversy, and I'm out.